Welcome back to Cooking with CHC. My name is Rachel and I'm the registered dietitian here at the Walpole Island site. And today's recipe we're going to be making our quick and easy salmon burgers. These are a good weekday favorite for some as they can really stretch out whatever you have in your cupboard and are whipped up together in just a matter of minutes. So let's get started. Now my hands are already washed, but that's always the first step when we're cooking anything. We'll really be using our hands today. So we'll start with 1 can of salmon, and it's going to be drained, but we want to reserve about 1 to 2 tablespoons of any of the liquid inside of the can, as that might be used later on in the recipe. So we'll start with 1 can here, set that aside. Now you can make this recipe with tuna instead of salmon, but I chose salmon today because of its omega-3 fatty acids. So these are essential fatty acids, meaning that they can't be produced in our body, we have to get them through food. And these fatty acids are important for the cell membrane of all the cells in our body, but especially our eyes and our brain. So those are found in salmon, and canned salmon is a very economical way to purchase salmon. So we'll start with that. Next we'll be adding 1/3 cup of breadcrumbs. These can be store-bought or they can be homemade. If you're making that at home, you can just use a food processor, or if you have any little ones in your kitchen, you can just take a slice of bread ripped in really tiny pieces, and that's a fun job to do together. Next, we'll add 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. We're going to be adding 1 raw egg. Nice. Next, we'll add 1/4 cup of finely chopped onions. So this is about half an onion, just finely chopped up. And the next 2 ingredients we're going to be adding are optional, I will say. They're more for optimal flavor. And just so you know, you can customize them at home with whatever spices you have. So I'll be adding 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard. Perfect. And next we'll be adding 1 tablespoon of parsley. So like I said before, you can use whatever spices you have at home, whatever flavors you'd like to use in your recipe. It's totally up to you. So we're going to keep our salmon liquid here from the can that we had set aside earlier. And as we're going to be mashing together our salmon patties, if you're noticing the mixture gets a bit dry, that's where we can add in a bit more of the water. Now you can use a spoon for this part, but I find that using your hands is a little bit more fun and it's a lot easier to shape into patties. So this recipe makes 4 standard salmon burger patties, but you can also customize it and make mini sliders if that's easier for you. All right. So just making patties, we'll set it on a plate to the side. I find that as long as the patty's about roughly the size of the palm of your hand, that should be a good size. Spread it there. Make sure we get everything out of this bowl here. Perfect. We have our 4 salmon patties. Now right after this step, very important, we wash our hands now that we've been contaminated with raw egg yolks. So I'm going to do that and then I'll be right back to join you for the next step of the recipe. Now it's time for cooking. So we're going to turn the stove here, so it's just about medium to low heat. And then to that pan, we're going to be adding 1 to 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. So just standard canola oil is fine, but you can also use avocado oil if you'd like. So that oil is going to get nice and hot, and then it's time to fry up our burgers. And just so you know, these have been actually sitting in the fridge for about 30 to 60 minutes. This just helps the burgers hold their shape better when you're cooking them, so they don't fall apart. It's a bit easier to flip. If you don't have time for that step, you can of course go right from making the patties straight to the pan. They just might start to crumble up a little bit more. So we're going to try to slide these out. And when they're going on the pan here, you want to make sure that they're nice and spread out, giving yourself some room to flip them. this is a bit of a smaller pan, so we're just going to be doing 3 burgers here, giving ourselves nice of room. Okay, so with these salmon burgers, you're wanting to be cooking them about 3 to 4 minutes per side until the sides get nice and brown. So I'm going to try flipping these ones now. There. So you can see that nice golden brown color there, and we're wanting to make sure that raw egg we used in the batter is getting nice and cooked in here. Perfect. So we're just going to wait another 3 to 4 minutes for this side. Now these salmon burgers can be eaten just like that, on their own, or they can be eaten topped on a burger bun with tartar sauce, tomatoes, and lettuce. So these are about done here. Again, thank you for cooking with me today. My name is Rachel. I'm the dietitian at CKCHC. Stay tuned for more recipes.
So you can actually cook up the rest of them if you want to.